I'm Haley and welcome back to my channel. I'm super excited because today I'm going to be talking about 6 new fragrances that I picked up from Sephora and Ulta. These are all fairly new. I have the Kayali Boujee Marshmallow. I have some stuff from Phlur, Monde, Gourmand. So a mix of brands, niche brands, but all within the affordable or mid-range. So I'm really excited to let you guys know my thoughts on some of these because I definitely have some hot takes. So if you want to know what I think about some of the new fragrance releases at Sephora and Ulta, keep on watching. Okay, first up, let's talk about it. I have the new Kayali Boujee Marshmallow and I have some thoughts. So this little guy I picked up when it first launched on the Sephora app. I've been wearing it and testing it out for the last couple of days. This fragrance has top notes of freesia, nectarine blossom, Italian lemon, and apple, mid notes of marshmallow, strawberry, coconut, orange blossom, and base notes of whipped cream, sugar, vanilla, musk, raspberry, and ambroxan. So to my nose, this is just a fruity, very sweet fragrance, and I don't really get the marshmallow note. So it has marshmallow in the name, but to me marshmallow is very like a lightly vanillic, just very sweet and also powdery fragrance, and this doesn't come across as powdery to me at all. It's really just sweet and fruity with some whipped cream and vanilla in the base. So I really get those base notes of whipped cream, sugar, and vanilla. I get the musk a little bit as well, and then I really get those notes of strawberry and raspberry. So I think it's fun. It's very youthful. Some might say juvenile, but to me, it's just like a super girly girl who just wants to smell sweet and pretty. I think if that's you, this will be right up your alley. But my main takeaway on this is that it's just treading old ground. Like, I don't really think this is all that revolutionary, new, or exciting, and to me it smells pretty much exactly like Bath & Body Works Cotton Candy Clouds. So as soon as I tried this out, when I first received it, I was like, this smells exactly like something else, and it took me a second, but then I realized it smells exactly like Cotton Candy Clouds, and I even pulled it out to confirm. And in fact, it smells even more like the Cotton Candy Clouds body cream, because the body cream, like the base ingredients in it, really give it that really creamy whipped cream kind of vanillic base, and that is what this really smells like to me. Don't get me wrong, it smells good. I love Cotton Candy Clouds, but I just don't really think this is all that new or revolutionary, especially when there's already a fragrance at Bath & Body Works of all places that smells exactly like this. I don't really see why you should pay Kayali money if you already have Cotton Candy Clouds. Obviously this one has a good lasting power because it's an eau de parfum, but you know, the scent profile is exactly the same as something that's already super affordable and widely available. So like I said, I did get good lasting power on this. I feel like I got 5 to 6 hours, which I thought was really great. But like I said, it reminds me so much of other fragrances, and not just Cotton Candy Clouds. It also reminds me a lot of Burberry Her, but this one is more of an exact dupe. So if you like that kind of scent profile, just very sweet fruity scents, you will like this. But if you already have a lot of fragrances like this, I would definitely try before you buy it, because you may already have maybe even an exact dupe in your collection, and I just don't think it's worth buying it if you're looking for something new and different. So with some of the other Kayali fragrances, I felt like they were more, you know, different and less of just like a very common scent profile. Like for example, the Vanilla Candy Rock Sugar that came out kind of recently, I feel like has more of a twist to it because it has patchouli in the base, so it has more of a fun bite that's a little bit unexpected. But yeah, this one, again, it's pretty reductive in my opinion. I don't think it's anything new or revolutionary. So as always, I would suggest you try before you buy. And then next up, I picked up Phlur's Strawberry Letter. So I do like Phlur. I think what they do is fun and sometimes a little bit interesting. I really love Tangerine Boy, which is an awesome juicy citrus with a peppery twist. So I was really excited to pick up Strawberry Letter. I love fruity fragrances, but I need to have fruity fragrances that have sort of like an interesting profile, some sort of notes in there that temper the just pure fruity sweetness, and this just does not do that for me. So this fragrance has top notes of strawberry, plum, and cassis, mid notes of red poppy, apple blossom, and lily, and base notes of earthy notes, sugar, amber, and tonka bean. So I was really intrigued by this scent profile because the earthy notes and the amber in the base were just, I think, a really cool twist on just a, you know, super sweet, sugary, fruity fragrance. But this one really doesn't come off super interesting at all to me. To me, it is just really basic, and it honestly smells like something that you would be able to get at like Limited 2 in like the early 2000s or something like that. No hate, but you really have to just like that super sweet, basic, fruity fragrance profile to really enjoy this one. That being said, I think a lot of people do like that kind of fragrance, but I don't really think it's worth the money for a full-size bottle from this brand because it's going to be pretty pricey. If it was like more affordable, I would say, hey, go for it, but given the price of these being almost $100 for a full-size bottle, I just don't think it's worth it because it's really, again, not bringing anything new to the table. I was really excited by the earthy notes and amber because I love that kind of earthy vibe, especially to, again, temper the ultra sweetness of the fruity notes. And amber is one of my favorite base notes in general. I think it's super classy and pretty and just can add kind of like a sexy dimension to fruity fragrances. But this one doesn't really go there for me. Again, it's really basic, it's really juicy, and it really fruity, sweet. I think if you really like those kinds of fragrances, you'll really enjoy this one. Again, I think it's pretty and it's inoffensive, but I was a little bit let down by this one as well. Okay, let's break it up with one that I was super pleasantly surprised by, and that is Le Monde Gourmand's Cerise Riche. So I've been intrigued by this brand for a while. They're available at Ulta on their own website and at Urban Outfitters, and they're super affordable. So these are like $25 for a full-size bottle. They have a lot of gourmands, hence the name of the house, and they seem to have a really frequent releases, really capitalizing on trendy scent notes. So scent notes that are like having a moment on TikTok and things like that. In this case, cherry, they will really release something that showcases that. So I'm excited to have picked this one up because I think this is a great value. I think it's super interesting and I'm really excited to wear it some more. So this fragrance has top notes of black cherry, pear leaf, and bergamot, mid notes of dark chocolate, benzoin, Davana, and Siam, and base notes of patchouli, cedarwood, and praline. So I think this is really great because again, it really tempers the cherry and the sweetness with some really interesting mid and base notes. So I really get that dark chocolate, patchouli, and cedarwood in this, and the praline sweetens it up a little bit, but again, the dark chocolate and the patchouli really give it like a mysterious, sexy twist, and I really enjoy this. So I kind of feel like this fragrance is the love child of Tom Ford's Lost Cherry in that really delicious boozy cherry scent, and Tom Ford Black Orchid, because Black Orchid also has that really interesting chocolate patchouli twist to it that kind of gives it a spiciness and again tempers any sweetness in the fragrance. So I think this is really cool. It's super interesting and I love that it's super affordable. Like when compared to this one, these were the same price, but you can get a full-size bottle of this and it's just so much more interesting. So if you like, again, fruity fragrances that have a unique scent profile, a little bit spicy, a lot sexy, I would definitely check this one out because I'm super glad that I picked this one up. It was a total blind buy, but it definitely ended up being worth it. Then I have another fragrance that I was sadly disappointed by, and that is Snif's Rose Era. So first of all, this is a collab with the influencer Monet McMichael. No shade on her. You know, I don't follow her or know much about her, so anything I say from this point is truly just going to be about this fragrance. I was just super confused by this because I feel like Snif is a niche house that's really known for their out-of-the-box fragrances, like Creme Couture, which is a bread fragrance. I just feel like sometimes they miss the mark, but it's always interesting and I can definitely get behind that. However, to me, this is just such a generic and not well executed fragrance at all. So this fragrance has notes of damask rose, rose, soap, strawberry, pear, dewdrop, fabric, woody notes, saffron, ambrette, moss, and orchinox. Really all I'm getting from this is a very, very weak rose scent. So I think this is pretty. I don't have an issue with this, but it really does not last on the skin. And I tried this on and I got between 30 minutes and an hour of wear on this, which is just not enough for a fragrance of this price. And to me, it really just smells like a watered down designer floral fragrance. So it really doesn't have anything unique or interesting. There's no interesting take on floral. It's just a very, very basic floral scent profile here, but it's incredibly weak, like I mentioned before. So to me, this reminds me of, you know how they would have those like impressions of dupe fragrances at the drugstore growing up or whatever, that would just be like clones or impressions of famous designer fragrances. To me, this is like one of those super weak impressions of like the original Chloe fragrance. So no lasting power, no oomph, nothing really there, but like vaguely reminiscent of a designer rose floral fragrance. So that's all I can really say about this one. Last thing is, I just feel like I'm so confused by the travel size. I just don't really think the quality is there. To me, this looks like a free sample. I don't know, especially when compared to like a pretty weighty bottle like this one, or even better, the mini bottles from Kayali. I feel like these are really nice quality and well thought out. Like they're weighty, they're pretty. I love the color of the glass on this one, even if I don't love the juice that much. This, again, it really just looks like a free sample, and I just don't really feel like the value is there on this one. Then next up, I have another fruity floral, and that is the 7 Virtues Candied Lychee. So this fragrance has top notes of lychee, mid notes of peony, and base notes of vanilla and crystal amber. And again, this is another ultra sweet fruity floral, but I like this one. It is incredibly sweet, so you do have to like that, but I think it's pleasant. It's very, very feminine, very youthful without being ultra juvenile, and I think it's pretty for the right person. So if you love ultra sweet fruity florals, this is for you. To me, it kind of reminds me of Delina La Rose or the original Chloe if you took those and made them ultra sweet. So if you kind of gave them like a saccharine twist, that would be this, and they actually have a pretty similar scent. So this fragrance is pretty basic ultimately, but basic doesn't always have to be a bad thing. And you know, it is what it says on the bottle, Candied Lychee. That's exactly what this is and what this smells like. So, you know, it's like they didn't lie to me, so I can't be mad about it. I do like it. I think it's fun, again, for the right person who really loves ultra fruity florals with no like dark turn or no dimension or depth or anything like that. This is for you. I think this is fun, and I'd be interested in trying more from the brand. And then last up is a little sample that I was fortunate enough to get from Sephora because I was ultra excited to try this. So this is from Merit. They have released a fragrance, which is actually really cool. I see a lot more, you know, kind of following Kayali and Huda Beauty, more beauty brands releasing fragrance. So I believe RMS also has a fragrance now, which is cool. And I have to say, I didn't really have high expectations for this, but this is freaking awesome. I feel like they really went in a unique direction. They really took a big swing on their first release, and I really think it paid off. So this fragrance has top notes of pear, ambrette, aldehydes, and bergamot, mid notes of orris, jasmine, violet, rose, and rosemary, and base notes of musk, vanilla, and moss. So this is a perfume that really utilizes aldehydes, which were super popular in decades past, and really just gives off a very pretty, sophisticated, very classic vibe. To me, this reminds me a lot of Chanel fragrances, which often use aldehydes and have that sort of breezy, sophisticated, and like lightly floral scent profile. Also, I also smell the moss in here, and I really think that it lends that sophisticated vibe to this fragrance. So I was very pleasantly surprised by this. Again, I think it's really classy, really sophisticated, and again, very classic because of the aldehydes and the, you know, floral notes in here. So I think this is really cool. If you like those kinds of, you know, classy Chanel but effortless fragrances, I would definitely try this one out and and see if you can get a sample because I don't believe they have a travel size of this one. That's all I have for today. Thank you so much for watching. I would love to know your thoughts on any of these fragrances if you have them. Like for example, if you freaking love Rose Era, let me know. I would love to hear from you. Or, you know, if you have thoughts on Boujee Marshmallow, I would love to hear that as well. Particularly if you can think of any more dupes of this beyond Cotton Candy Clouds or Burberry Her, because I'm sure there are more similar perfumes to this one out there. As always, thank you so much for watching, and I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. Bye.